What's going on? Haven't streamed in a little bit. Gonna talk about everything, get some good clips today. Market is absolutely getting destroyed. It's a good thing I made money on Aster, because that was like the most free money making opportunity in so long. All right, sec. All right, I just posted that I was live everywhere, so we should be good. Good afternoon. So here's the plan for the stream. I'm going to show some charts, talk about where we are in the market, what my plan is, what I've been doing, what I'm going to do moving forward. I've said it a million times on stream. I've been 90% stabled. People have called me dumb for that. Looks like I have actually been on top of that, and that was actually the move. That was the play. But let me say what's up to whoever's in here, and then we can kind of just get started. Stream's going to be a little bit shorter today. I'm not really in the best mood, to be honest. But yeah, so Raya said, not for Raya, said, yo, market was fun while it lasted. See you next cycle. Yeah, well, the cycle has been over for a while, in my opinion, but that's a whole other conversation. Subversion, what's up? JC, Laszlo, hey C and B. Bro said, how free is free? Oh, did you see my tweet? You want a cookie? You were joking by the dip? I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm still holding a pretty big bag of Aster. I guess I could just flip this over. Nobody wants to see me talk like this anyway. I literally hold like 3 cryptos. So we're gonna get in. Hype is a good long here. Probably is. Bro said, why am I in a bad mood? I have no reason to be in a bad mood. I think ultimately, like, I'll tell you why I am kind of in a bad mood about the market and everything is because last cycle back in 2021, it was like there were no dips. Everything was just up only. There was opportunity after opportunity. It was like there was free money flying around everywhere. Like if you were in a coin and it dumped 50%, it would go back up like 40% the next day. Like like it was just like it was so much better of a trading environment, and there was so much opportunity to where like if you felt like you missed something, yeah, it sucked for sure, but there was just so much going on. And I feel like this cycle, it's like you have 2 or 3 weeks where something's good and there's like a meta, and then everything dies, and then the market completely dumps. And then you have like 3 weeks of everything being ass, and then everything sucks. And then it's just like it's so bipolar with the way that things are. And so I feel like part of it is the fact that like this month I actually had one of the best months trading in a very long time. Because I barely lost at all, and I was hitting like big size trades. But yeah, the market has just been so weird, and I want to have fun. Like I want to trade, and I want to speculate on things, and I want to believe in things, and you just can't. Like I'll give you a really good example of what I mean in terms of like not being able to believe in anything anymore. So I made like around 50K on Kind. So on this coin, like I made, I traded it perfect every single time, and it went to like 40 or 50 mil. And then when it started dumping, it was like down here around like 7. And I started buying, and then I just kept buying, kept buying, kept buying. And it's like, dude, you can't believe in anything. You got a guy who's out here, and he is donating tons of money to people who need it. He's super viral on all these different platforms, pump fund, creator capital markets, like all this stuff. And yet you still have coins that are going from 40 million to 1. Like, how are you supposed to trade this? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, if you're, I mean, think about it like this. Let's say that you and this is, I guess, like going into a different conversation. And I think that this is a huge problem with pump fun and streaming is, let's say, for example, that you are a huge fan of this guy, Cole, who runs Kind. And you get into it kind of early, you're buying the chart, you're buying a support, and then the coin goes up to 40 million, and then it dumps down to 1.7 within a week. And it's like, my thing on it is, I understand that the idea is that you're trading attention and everything, but think about it like this. God, there's multiple different ways to like go about this, because it's like, if you have a community of people, and let's say that there's 1,000 people that watch you, and let's say that 500 people end up buying into your coin and they're down money, like, is that not a negative thing towards the creator? Because you're gonna have people who are gonna be mad because they bought into a token and they're down money. When on the other side, if you just donate to people, nobody expects anything in return. So it's like, you're giving that money directly to the creator. And when you give money directly to the creator, you're not going into it with the mindset of like, I bought this shit coin at 4 mil and now it's at 1. Like, I'm down money. Like, people like to just straight up donate and support to these creators. And so I feel like, obviously, as an attention token, is betting on attention. Yes, we understand that that's how like shit coins work, and we understand that that's like how things go. But I do find it to be a little weird, because if a creator launches a coin and then the coin ends up dumping super hard, I feel like that could put a bad taste into people's mouth, and you could like lose supporters if you're not necessarily like the biggest creator ever. So I know I went on like a little bit of like a thing right there, but I wanted to stop my rant. I wanted to say what's up to everybody else. Jake, Alexa, Third, what's up? Sorry, Third, I didn't stream the other day. That was on me. Angels, Sama, Crystallized, what's up to all of you guys? Would love to hear your thoughts on this, because we're trying to get some good clips off of stream today for sure. And then I would like to stop, and I would like to personally thank Alexa. I know that you said that you I need to get back to you. I forgot. That's my bad. That you were taking care of some health stuff. I hope that that's going all right, and you're at least like enjoying not having to work while you're healing up. Thank you for the subs. I appreciate that a lot. Use the Tahoe emote. That's sad. That's sad. I got a couple of them. That's, you know, it's a throwback. I was thinking about Tahoe the other day, actually. I was going through pictures last night. Tahoe. The time off has been nice, I bet. I bet. I bet. You still play your Switch and stuff? I got the Switch too. I've only played it a couple times, but I feel like there's no like real good games on it yet. The new Mario Kart is fun, but I've just been playing like Pokemon Unite. Guys, if you are in chat right now, if you are watching the stream, shoot me over a message in chat and give me your thoughts on where things are, and tell me how you feel about things. and I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown as to where I think we are from where we are and like where we're going from this point on. You haven't gotten the 2 yet? I have some friends you played Mario Kart with. The Switch 2 is cool. Screen is bigger, it loads games way faster. I like it a lot. I didn't think I was going to get it because I was like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with my Switch." There's like a huge difference actually. What's up, Caliber? They have messed up privacy policies. I haven't looked into any of that, but I did hear something about that, and I also think it's like kind of messed up that they have like certain subscriptions and shit that you need to get to access like, basic features. I'm probably gonna sell the rest of this soon, actually. All right. Let's see. You hate the stream meta. I can understand that. Miyagi said, "I think we're cooked." Perry said, "I am tired of this market, bro." Miyagi said, "I think we're moving into a full on gambling with prediction markets, a clear sign that we are topped slash have topped." So the reason why people like trading crypto is because it is gambling, but it's backed by something else, right? It's not just like you're going and you're betting on whether or not Trump is gonna say a word on his next interview, or that South Park is going to have something in their show, and you can just bet on it. When you're in crypto, it's like you want to believe that there's communities, like you want to believe that there's technology that is backing a lot of this stuff. And we've kind of gone through the cycle where at first it was meme coins. I actually made a tweet about this. Um, but yeah, it was like at first it was meme coins, and then we went to celeb coins, and then we went into AI, and then there was creator capital markets, internet capital markets, and it's like we start to get to this thing where all the people that have been here for a little bit, they kind of realize that a lot of this stuff is bullshit, and that within every different meta there is, you'll have certain people that will try their hardest to make something work, and you want to believe in those people. Like you want to believe in the teams and the products and everything. Hyperliquid is like a really good example of it. Hyperliquid was one of the best tokens, if not the best token that came out of this cycle. And so you want to bet and believe on that stuff. And I think that what has happened is there was a lot of new stuff that was coming out in tokens, especially during AI, where everyone felt as though there was new tech and you can bet on AI, and AI is like the next big sector and all this stuff. And then when you realize that a lot of these tokens either had no use case, they weren't special, they were just wrappers, and they, you know what, I like GPT wrappers and stuff. And then people started realizing this stuff was just overvalued garbage. And so the people that are here already kind of know that, and they're tired because they're like, "Oh, well, we already know that everything is just BS and everything's just going to bleed out and die anyway." And there's not enough new people that are coming in believing in this stuff. So it's like we kind of are just going through this thing where I made a tweet about this as well. Is that 2 weeks ago, everybody was talking about cards. Like everyone was talking about on chain Pokemon cards, next big thing. That's going to be so crazy. And then last week it was streamer coins. Oh my God, like these big streamers, like the bag work and kind, and these coins going to 50 million, and now they're at 2. And then today it's Aster, and this launched like a couple days ago, obviously. And it's just like you got to go from thing to thing to thing to thing over and over and over again. And that's just kind of like where we're at right now, is that there's just not enough new people, and the people that are here don't really believe in anything, and everyone's just kind of looking for the new thing. So it's not ideal for a long-term sustainable market, but what I will say is that like it is a good signal that people are tired, and I can definitely see the market taking a dump from here. I've been fully stabled for the past couple months. I did stable a little too early, but I also made up for stabling early by trading stuff during that time. And I was able to sleep really well during that entire period too, because I was just so underexposed to the market and I could go to sleep and not have to worry about my bags dumping overnight. Let's see what else. Third said, I feel like Aster derailed the hype from CCM. That's why most coins are bleeding. I agree. Totally. I agree um, with that all the way. What's my thesis for holding Aster? Are you leveraged or spot only? So I am spot only, and my thesis on it really is just CZ and Binance. Obviously, like if you zoom out of this chart, it's the most insane looking chart you've ever seen. You really just can't fade CZ. He knows what he's doing. He's been saying this for a while. He's one of the richest people in crypto, if not the richest guy in crypto that we know of, because obviously there's a lot of people that are anon and whatever. Hyperliquid was the best product coin to come out of this market, and nobody really competed with them. And because nobody really competed with them, when CZ comes out and launches something like this, you can't really fade it. And so, yeah, this has been an insane coin. Why am I not doing leverage? I don't do leverage. I've heard of a lot of people that have made a ton of money in leverage and then they give it all back. One big thing is that over the past like 3 or 4 years, I've gotten really good actually at handling my emotions. And one thing that I'll say for sure is that when I was doing leverage, it was the most unhappy, unhealthy. It was the worst because you have to sit, watch your positions. It's very tough. It's a hard game, and I prefer spot because you don't have to worry about getting liquidated. Even if you technically you can go in with like low leverage and everything, but it's a dangerous drug. It really is. Um, Bacon said the market feels impossible with low ports right now. People who are new aren't usually willing to throw multiple bands into a coin. I agree with you. And that's part of the reason as to why I think that the market is the way that it is because back in 2021, you could go and get an NFT whitelist and you could turn $100 into 5 grand. I registered one ENS domain and I got an airdrop from that, which was like a lot. Like it was a lot of money. And so there's a lot of these different scenarios where in other cycles you didn't have to have a lot of money. In this cycle, like if you have $200 to your name, like what's the best way to work that up? I still think that it's like slowly getting into good coins that are above 1 million and trying to build that bag up by going for 50 to 100% gains over time. A lot of other people would disagree and they'd say just get into the Solana trenches and trench low caps, but I think that's like the easiest way to lose your money. But yeah, like you have to think about it like this. Most people are in debt and most people do not have 500 to $1,000 to go and to bet it within a market that they're brand new on. And so if we're in a position to where new people can't come in with low capital and have a chance of winning, they're just going to leave. They're just going to keep working their job and they're going to go find something else to do, like Pokemon cards, right? Like, one of the reasons why the Pokemon market has been going up so much is because there's money to be made there. Um, there's supply and demand issues. Pokemon is the number one IP in the entire world, and it's less scammy, right? Like you can go buy a Pokemon card that you like, and every single Pokemon card that I've bought over the past 2 to 3 years is up like 3x. I was going to buy those cards and hold them regardless. I didn't really give a shit that they were worth money. I just liked them. And so people would rather go join the Pokemon market because there's cute art, it's less scammy. If you buy a card, it's likely not going to go to zero. You can enjoy, you can hold the stuff. It makes more sense to people. And so, yeah, I think that that's like a big thing that people probably aren't thinking about is that if you are somebody who only has, let's just say $500 where do you think they're going first? Into the Pokemon market where they know that there's a lot of upside? Sure, it takes like maybe a couple months or whatever to for cards to appreciate, but if you're buying and holding sealed stuff in Pokemon right now, all of that stuff is going up over time. Every sealed box that I've bought over the past couple of years is up like 4 or 5x. Every Pokemon card that I bought back in 2023 is up like 2 to 3 to 4 or 5x depending on what it is. And yeah, of course, like there's going to be a time when that market dumps as well. But if you just look at the state of the two markets, where is a new entrant going to go if they are financially motivated? Are they going to go into crypto right in this very moment, or are they going to go into Pokemon? And Pokemon is a lot easier for people to get into, and it doesn't have as shitty of a stigma around it where everyone can kind of get behind Pokemon. Everyone grew up with it, everybody likes it, but there's this terrible stigma around crypto. And why would somebody want to get into crypto right now and join the Solana trenches when it's the same 5 to 10 F and F groups that keep launching PvP coins on every Elon tweet, and their $100 goes down to zero in 1 second because a shitcoin gets vamped? They would literally rather go buy their favorite Charizard card. You could put it on your desk, you sit it there, you can go to like events, you can watch content, and it's just it's lighthearted, it's fun, and your card is probably not going to go to zero unless, I mean, once again, the Pokemon market is too hot, and I have also been selling Pokemon cards to try to de-risk a bit, but man, it's just such a better market for new people to get into. With all that being said, though, I'm not in Pokemon to make money. I never have been. I don't vend. I don't like really do any of that kind of stuff. I don't have a business in Pokemon. I literally just collect the stuff that I like and hold it. Um, Meanwhile, I do still prefer crypto because I'm good at it. Like, I like crypto because it is a place where I understand the game, and it's also a very liquid market if you're trading the right stuff. For example, I was able to put in 120K into Aster, and within 2 days, I sold half my bag up here, and then I'm still holding the rest. But it's like I was able to hit like basically like a 50 to 60% gain on unlimited size just because you understand like the way that the market is going. Now, of course, I could have lost that money. Not saying that like everything is guaranteed, but if you go buy a $50,000 Pokemon card, you're going to have to wait so long for that to appreciate. And big Pokemon cards like that, depending on what it is, of course, are not very liquid. Like you have to go find a buyer. And so that's like one of the big issues with Pokemon for sure. Jake said opening a booster box of Mega Evolutions today. Good luck. I actually opened one a couple days ago. I went to a card show, and there was a guy that got them early. I didn't pull anything. My girlfriend pulled the actually she pulled the entire Venusaur line out of like individual packs. Like she pulled the Bulbasaur and the Ivysaur and the Mega Venusaur, like the special illustration, all out of the same box. It was super random. Predictions on Aster's peak price, long term and short term. I don't really do price predictions because I am just not one to do that. Um, I personally wanted to see this run to $3 short term. Um, Hyperliquid is dumping, and Aster is obviously like the stronger horse in terms of price action. I think CZ is going to keep climbing this. I think if the market continues to go up, then Aster is going to do really well. If you compare it to BNB, obviously they're sending the shit out of BNB. That coin has been doing insane because of, CZ crime and Binance crime and whatever. Um, I think Aster is one of the best bets in the market. With that being said, I also am bearish on the market. So I am going to be selling the rest of the Aster that I have. I'm okay if I miss out on like a little bit more of upside on it. I'm like 95% stable anyway at this point, so anything that I make on a daily basis is kind of just adding to my spot bag that I'm going to deploy at the bottom of the bear market when it hits within the next 6 to 12 months. So, just trading on a daily basis, swapping to stables, sleeping well, knowing that I'm not sitting in the market where it's just tough. It's just tough. That's all. I don't think that really answered your question. It's all dependent. The price action of this coin is dependent on CZ and then whether or not Bitcoin goes to 100K or not. Do I think that bonk community will bring back community conviction plays, especially with link to World Liberty Finance? That is a good question. I wouldn't say that I would be betting against it because anything can happen. I think that wrongfully the bonk ecosystem got a bad rep because people were like, "Oh, like it's so funny actually. People were like, "Oh, all the coins on bonk are just crimed up. They're just crimed. Everything was crime. They were just pumping it like and then everyone was losing their mind and then everyone's main thesis for buying Aster is the same thing. They're like, "CZ's going to crime it." And so I'm like, "What do you want, dude?" Like so I feel like people's opinion on Bunk could get swayed back pretty easily. I'm not paying attention to any of that personally. I probably should, but it could happen. It could definitely happen. But I just think also that the market is kind of tired of just straight up memes. Like simply just meme coins, like their recent coin that they whatever it was, like was it one? How do you even look that coin up? Oh, it's trending. Is this the right one? Yeah, like they crime this. This meme sucks. But they're criming. But it's just a meme, you know? The question is there an appetite for just memes? And that's not even just a bonk thing. That's in every ecosystem. If any of you guys are interested in joining my Discord, I'm gonna give away some free memberships. So join the Discord. The link is right there. The link is also like right here. You can see it wherever this is, right there. Join that. Open up a ticket. Tag me. Fartcoin chart is the most cooked chart, without a doubt. The Fartcoin chart is quite literally one of the worst charts in crypto. Feels bad because it went from 1.7 billion all the way down to 566 mil with very few bounces. Like this was like a 20% bounce. This was like a 20% bounce. You're talking about a $1.2 billion of value erased out of a chart. The coin is just market made. Market makers, they sent this coin super fucking high. Coin cooked. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone loved it. It just doesn't have the same appeal right now. That's just how it is. But it's bad. It's definitely bad. Coins on ETH, MOG, cooked. I lost like 30 or 40K on that because I bought a couple weeks ago and then it just kept going down and down and down and down. Like, let me pull that one up real quick. I always liked MOG coin too. I can't even imagine what it's at. 245? Yeah, dude. Let's look at MOG coin. Not good. Not good. From almost 800 million and it broke below this. The lows were 100. Absolutely just rinsed of a coin. And the thing is I held like down, I bought basically like in this range, and then I held down here, and then I sold into this pump. I still lost money on it though. The good thing, one of the best decisions that I made actually was rotating into a big Aster bag. At what price will I rebid Aster? I have no idea. I'm just gonna watch the coin and just see how it does over time. Market is really bad right now. And the thing is it's felt like that for a while for me. But everyone else is gonna start shitting their pants soon, because there's definitely a lot of people. I'll give you like a good example. There's gonna be a lot of people that round trip Hyperliquid because they thought that this coin was like untouchable. I think that now that Aster is a part of the conversation, I don't think that Hyperliquid is going to have the same appeal. And if the market dumps from here and Hyperliquid goes to 30, 20 or whatever, it's gonna, like, a lot of people are gonna round trip. A lot of people are gonna round trip. What's up, Carter? You bought into Plasma today? I haven't even really looked at it. What do you think of Binance or ETH meme coins versus Sol? Is there any reason to scan and research them in depth regularly? Yes. If you are in the market, if you're trading this market on a daily basis, you cannot just be sitting and staring at new pairs on Solana. You literally have to be looking at every single opportunity on all of the major chains, whether it's, usually it's just Solana and then ETH and whatever L2s that actually have stuff going on. But you got to pay attention to other stuff when it pops up. And if you just sit there, and this is basically what's happening to a lot of trenchers, is they're not paying attention to anything else except for staring at this page. They literally just will look and they'll just be like, the market's so dead. And it's like, yeah, the market is definitely slow, but there are a ton of opportunities on other chains and stuff. And that's why somebody like Cooker was able to make all the millions that he did, because he was waiting for Aster. He saw it drop, aped in a major bag, understood CZ crime. Like, Cooker literally had to beg people that refused to bridge. I had to as well. They refused to bridge. They're like, dude, I love Solana. I don't want to bridge off of Solana onto Binance. And it's like, dude, bridge to fucking Aster and buy the coin. And he had to beg people to do it. And it's like, that's what makes good traders. Like, people that are able to say, this is a great opportunity on this chain, I'm going to size in $500,000 onto it. And a lot of people can't even comprehend that. And I'll tell you this, there's a lot of the Solana trenchers, you know, these people that everyone kind of like looks up to as like the best traders, that literally missed Aster completely. They missed they missed the streamer coins. Like, they missed basically everything that isn't an Elon tweet or like whatever, shit like that. Can I check the AI 16Z chart? No, I'm not looking at that chart. Cooker gets hate because he is successful and he's a good trader. And people get mad that he has a paid group. And there is this stigma against paid groups. because people get mad because they're like, why does he get to have a paid group? Dude, running a paid group is not easy. It is not easy because you got to think about it. Like, just because somebody is running a paid group does not mean that that people have to sign up for it. If the value is there, then people will sign up. And Cooker has run a very successful paid group. Therefore, people pay for it. And therefore, people are mad that he's running a paid group. And so they give him shit and they call him a scammer. When in reality, the reason why people stick around is because he's good at trading and identifies opportunities. And if it wasn't worth it, people wouldn't fucking pay for it. And I'll tell you this, I do think, because I run a paid group, I've been running my group Canto for 3 years now. And my goal has always been, it doesn't matter like what level you're at. If you're brand new to trading, if you've been trading for like a little bit, or if you're like a whale or whatever, like my goal has always been to build the best community that I can in finding the best opportunities in the market on a daily basis. I literally haven't taken a single day off in years because all I do is just think about this stuff all day long. I want to trade this market. And so having a good community of people around you that are clocking in every single day, like that's how you win. And so, yeah, that's just why I do what I do. Like I love running my group. And the fact is like you do have to have some sort of barrier to entry because, as a lot of you guys know, like if you just have a group that anybody can join, it gets super diluted. But it's like once you have a group of people that, they're paying to be there and everyone's contributing, like people want to get value out of what they're putting in. And that's why there are paid groups out there, such as mine, that do well, is because like you have people that are trading the market every day. They think for themselves and they are actively trading the market and being successful doing so. And if you're a new trader and you don't have access to any of that stuff, then that's a good way for you to get into it. And it's kind of like anything else. It's like, if you have never traded before, if you've never done anything before, dude, tons of people go to college. I know it's a little bit different, but like, if I were going to get into a different whatever, some other industry like drop shipping, like I would probably have to go out and pay one of those like content creator guys like to buy their course or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I think everyone should be in a trading group. And if you don't have like a small group of friends, like you can just go join a group like mine. Like you can join a group like Canto, immediately get access, and you can immediately start learning and ask people for help. And you will understand what's going on a lot better than if you're just mindlessly running around and you're only buying things because influencers on Twitter are shilling them to you and you have like absolutely no idea who to trust because all these guys are basically just scammers. Whereas me, like I have an incentive to continue to provide good value and for people to make money, because if the value is not there for my group, then people aren't going to sign up. But if the value's there, and if I'm trading well, and if I'm like leading people, and the lead is a very like specific term, if I'm leading people into success, then they're going to want to stick around, which makes the group stronger. So anyway, I just kind of went on like a long rant. I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. Let me know what your thoughts are on all that, and I'll be back. Tiger said, paid group that makes money to people equals you connect noobs with pro traders, you charge a small fee, reinvest into tools. It becomes a business. When money is involved, shit gets serious. Paid group just works. You just have to join the right places. There's a couple really good paid groups that are out there, and there's a lot of good people that are good leaders. There's also some groups that are paid groups that, you know, the founder is never there and the people don't even trade. And so it's like, yeah, you gotta join where it makes sense. And like if you don't have a lot of friends, then that's, you know, it's helpful to join groups where, you know, you can get good info. One winning trade pays for multiple months of the sub as well. So when I first got into crypto, I immediately joined as many groups as I could, and I stuck around in like what I thought were the best ones. And I don't have a problem. It's like anything else. I pay $80 a month for YouTube TV so I can watch just NFL games and college games. So I can watch football, sports, and shit. And I think that the return on that is good. Like I get to relax, I get to watch content, whatever. And if you were talking about a niche place for uh if you're looking for a niche like within crypto where meme coins specifically are so tough to get a handle on, like micro caps like this, if you can be around people that are really good at it, and if you could pay $100 a month to do it, it's worth it. Because let's be real, like if you want to make money in crypto, like obviously your goal is to want to make more than 100 a month. Everyone wants to make like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and so it's like, what is $100 if your long term goal is to make $100,000? Did I trade Giggle? No, I didn't actually. I didn't. Uh, no, I've never heard of that group. Yeah, one area that Kanto does need to improve upon is perps. But I think the reason why perps hasn't been a main focus is because I don't really trade perps. So, you know, I obviously trade like shit coins. So I'm like a shitcoin trader. I'd rather trade shit coins than trade Bitcoin, you know, on leverage. Drop the link. It's in my bio. Anybody can, join Kanto. The link is in my bio. It's in the chat. Like, and like I said, I'll give away like a couple free monthlies. Just open a ticket and you can join up and you can see for yourself. Perps is hard. Perps is super hard. Because it's a game where it's like you have to leverage correctly, you have to have tight stop losses, you have to size correctly. Like a lot of it's out of your control. What if there's a news event that pops up? Like there's just, especially in this market, it's so tough. And so yeah, leverage is, it's a very dangerous game. Some people are really good at it, but what normally happens, and I've seen this happen a couple times this cycle, is there's a lot of people that will make money on meme coins, and then they go to leverage, and then they get cooked in leverage because they try to treat it like meme coins, but it's a totally different game, and then they end up losing it all, crashing out. Meme coins come back, make it back, go back into leverage. Like right now, everyone's leverage trading, and I just won't do it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't win. I'm just saying that it's like it's a totally different game. It's a totally different skill. And it's like yeah, you got to know what you're getting into when it comes to leverage. I have seen and heard of a lot of people that I've looked up to and that I've known over the years that have lost a lot of money. They've like blown up their entire portfolios because they got cooked on leverage. I'd rather just buy spot. personally. Oh, you did it just to farm Aster? Well, in that case, then yeah, probably worth it. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of people that are farming it, but I wonder where it goes from here in terms of farming, in terms of people that are one second. Sorry, I got a lot of people that are blowing up on me because they want me to give them access, but I'm still streaming. Sorry about that. All right, what else? What else? I didn't buy plasma. I just I don't know. I decided to just stay in Aster. I feel like in times like this, if you start rotating from thing to thing to thing over and over again, it's like after I don't know. Aster was a really good coin, and Plasma obviously has a lot going for it, but yeah, Plasma, they did something crazy. They literally, even if you put in $1, they gave you like $10,000 worth of tokens. Is that not insane? And there's a lot of people that were coping about that too. They're like, wait a second, I could have turned $1 into $10,000. Why didn't I know about that? Why didn't I do that? I could have literally had a free 10K. And it's like, if you had the thought to go and KYC and understand what plasma was, and if you're somebody who goes and actually buys pre-sales for tokens, then yeah, you could have done it. Most people don't do that stuff. And so it's actually kind of funny that people are coping about it because they're like, dude, I could have turned $1 into 10 grand. And I'm like, bro, again with like the everyone going for like 1,000x type thing. Like, if you were bullish on the project, if you did research on the project, if you understood what it was, and if you were going to take a risk by sending money to the pre-sale, whether it was $100 or 500 or 1,000 or whatever, like, then you would have done that. And you weren't doing it because you were hoping to get $10,000 of free tokens. You were doing it because you did your research, you knew what it was. But everyone that's coping about not making money on that and not getting like the free 10K or whatever is simply just like people being like, no, dude, I missed another free opportunity to make 10K from nothing. And it's like, yeah, I guess. I'm listening to this Zelda mix. It's really good. What advice do you give with someone with small port that finds runners but mostly breaks even? Literally just sell for 20 to 30 to 40% gains over and over again. Learn to find how to identify good entries on tokens and buy into them. And then when you are up money, take profit and then just go on. I do that all the time too. I have a big port, and like there's a lot of times where I'll put 10 soul into a coin and I'll go up like 20%. I'm like, do I want to take this free $500? And I'll just sell the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, I guess I just made $500 in 2 seconds. Like, and then I just look for another trade. everyone wants free, but no one wants to do your own research and work for the money they receive. I'm going to tell you this right now. I have been looking for different roles within my Discord and within my business for a long time. And I have hired people in the past. And all I'll say is that it is a lot harder to find graphic designers and clippers and, like, just different things like that. Like, it's not as easy as you would think. And as much as everybody on the timeline talks about wanting to get like rich and make a lot of money, I just have a hard time believing that like a lot of these people are serious about that, because I'll go out and I'll present opportunities to work with me, and then it won't pan out for whatever reason. Do I sit at my desk all day long? Yes. Have I just been on Twitter all day long and looking into every project that's come up over the past couple of years and staring at Pulse and looking for new pairs and understanding the AI season and all this stuff and knowing how like the market works? Yes. Have I done all this from my computer? Yes. Have I made really good money? Yes. Was it easy? No. Dude, I had to put in so much time literally staring at my computer, losing fucking brain cells. My mental health took a shit. My physical health took a shit. I had recently had to get back into the gym. It takes a lot of time and effort and work. Even though you're just sitting at your desk, you have to consume so much info. You have to consume all this stuff, and you have to weigh risk to return. You have to know when to buy things, when to size into them, like when to get out, like all this kind of stuff. And it's like you are quite literally at the cockpit of your own video game. And your goal is basically to use all the information that is provided to you within the landscape of crypto and meme coins and shit coins and all this stuff and Twitter. Learn it, understand where to put money so that you can pull out more money, and so that the number in your wallet goes up over time. And that's really what it is. And so it's not always about buying the bottoms of everything and then selling the absolute tops of things. It's about putting in money, riding the train, taking it out, getting on another train, putting in money, hopping, the train goes up, you pull out, and it's like your goal is like, let's say you buy right here. Okay, you sold right here. Sure, you missed out on more, but guess what? That money right there, this little area of you buying right here and selling right here, that is part of your journey. That is part of you winning the game, is by being able to put money in here and sell here and make money, and then to find another opportunity and to do it again and to do it over and over again and do it over and over again. Rigby the dev said, you just said you hate the trenches and how new pair traders trade, but you just said you're buying 10 SOL and flipping for 20% gains. That's even worse, and why the trenches are dead. Well, I didn't say anything about the trenches. Like, the coin could be at 2 mil. The coin could be at 3 mil. Like the other day, I put in like 50 SOL into cards and I hit a 40% gain and I made like 10 SOL or 15 to 20 SOL or something like that, whatever the math comes out to be. And I was super happy with that. I was like, yeah, I put in that money. I had a good entry and I sold. You can't compare me taking a 20 to 30% gain on a token to the issue of the trenches, which is the fact that there are people that are literally people farming new pairs, and that there are hundreds and hundreds of new pairs being launched and PvPs by different groups, and they're bundled, and the entire point of those the trenches and those tokens that people are launching and trading is to farm them. It's totally different. So you can't, like, if just because I sell for a 20% game, like what are you saying? If I go buy $1,000 of the S&P 500 and it goes up 20% and sell, am I part of the problem as to why the stock market is bad? No. I'm just taking the gains that are available to me. Like what you said basically has no connection to each other. How much did I lose in the beginning of trading before you found yourself profitable? Well, I got into crypto back in 2021, and what happened with me is that like I was immediately profitable because I was trading NFTs and it wasn't really that hard. Like you could buy any NFT and they would all just go up. And so it was like great at that time. Then I was learning to trade shit coins or whatever, made a bunch of money, and I would lose as well. But it was like you kind of needed to come up with your own strat, but when everything was going up all at the same time, it was so much easier. A lot of people round tripped. I round tripped at the end of last cycle a good amount, and then I ended up like building that bag all the way back up. But yeah, so I mean, I think it just depends on like the time that you're trying to trade. That's so funny. I give a perfect explanation, a perfect response, and this guy goes, "Fuck you." All right, man. Am I farming the Aster airdrop? Um, kinda. I'm more so just trading spot, but I think farming the Aster airdrop if you're able to not lose money on it, like the process, because like you can't really farm it without taking risk, and so it's like you gotta be able to not lose money in the process of farming. What's the right approach to running the one sole portfolio? Uh, sell things around your house and turn your and like pick up extra shifts or whatever and turn the one sole port into like a 5 to 10 sole port outside of crypto, and then stare at charts for weeks and not trade at all. And then when you start trading, only go in with 1 to 2 SOL. Find different trading strategies and things that you think would work for you, and and decide the kind of trader that you want to be. Bro said, dude, you're missing the point here. There are people buying 10 SOL and selling for 1.4 SOL profit in the trenches too. Okay. I'm going to blow your mind with this, dude. There's going to be people that are going to buy 10 SOL of a coin and sell for 2 SOL profit at 10K market cap, at 50K, at 100K, at 500K, at a million, at 10 million, at a billion. At every single market cap, people are going to do that. And you know what else is crazy? Is there's going to be some people that buy 10 SOL of something and they're going to sell for a loss at all of those same market caps. Yeah. Guy who launches shitcoins is trying to. Okay. Uh, Raw goat milk. Some people are so inconsistent with trading that they get upset and decide to become trolls. Well, I think that's one of the reasons as to why the market has turned into what it is now, is because I actually explained this. I'm going to read off a message that I sent to one of my buddies this morning. So I'm just going to read this off and you can tell me what your thoughts are on this. So I said, for the past 6 months, it is basically complete doom and gloom. Tons of people are crashing out from not hitting their cycle goals, and people are trying to hit home runs and blowing up their whole portfolio in the process. And this is the biggest thing about it, is that everyone feels like the cycle is going to end soon. There's no doubt about that. People do say that. So while people claim that they're bullish, they're really actually not. They just have to feel bullish because they haven't hit their cycle goals yet. And so what happens is that people will feel like they're running out of time, and they will still project out that they're bullish when in reality they have no choice but to be bullish, because people want the market to continue on. People want there to be more opportunities. Like, they're definitely like, everyone wants that. Um, and so, yeah, people are like basically pretending to be bullish because they have to be, and they'll go out and talk about being bullish and all that, when in reality, how many people do you see out there right now are talking about how they're like, oh, well, the market only has 6 months left until we top and then it's all over or whatever. And so some people are like, no, that's not true. That's not true. Cycles are over. We're just going to be in a constant state of moon forever. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. What do I have against devs? I have nothing against devs. That's like another thing, is that if people want to go out and if they want to deploy good coins and if they want to go and be a deployer, then they can go deploy. If someone wants to trade, they could trade. If someone wants to be a dev, they could dev. If you don't have a lot of money, maybe deving is better. Missed this whole cycle holding ETH, thinking it would outperform Bitcoin. Do you think ETH could still break all-time high this cycle? It could. Um, One thing that I did this cycle, which was argue, because I did really well on like a lot of different coins, especially like Trump and whatever. Um, One thing that I'll say for sure is that the best decision that I made this cycle was swapping all my ETH into Solana when I noticed that everyone was starting to trade on Sol. When I noticed that people weren't really having a good experience at the time on ETH, I stopped holding ETH because I just had that feeling. I was like, I know that this is cooked. I was a little bit late, but in retrospect, I wasn't, because I ended up moving like almost all of my ETH into Solana at like $80 to $90 of Solana. And so I outperformed just by doing that, and then just by trading on Solana as well. So what's up, Hustle? To answer your question though, do I think that ETH can hit all-time highs again? I don't know. I mean, like, let's put it like this. If you were holding ETH this entire cycle and you watched ETH go from 1400 all the way to 5K with no dips, and if you didn't sell into this pump, I don't know what to say. That was the perfect exit liquidity that you could have ever gotten on this token. Look at this. ETH went up 250% in like 6 months with no, or like 5 months with no dips. Zero dip. Let's actually look and see how big the biggest dips were. 25%. Okay. 13, 15%. 15%. So you're telling me this coin literally went up from 1,500 to 5K, and the biggest, there were two 15% retraces, and there was one 25% retrace. Like, that's crazy. Now, I'll say this. I did think that ETH was going to go higher. No way did I think that ETH was just going to go back to its previous all-time high and just top out. The difference between Sol and ETH, though, is when Solana was at $8, the market cap for Sol was like 5 billion. Like, people have to take that into account. ETH is like a $500 billion token or something. Anyway, what else, bros? What else? What else? Man, I kind of want to bid this. Why did this dump so hard? This went from what? How high? Yeah, why is this dumping? Just because the market sucks? Seems like every dip on this has been free. Am I taking any trips after the cycle is complete? Not like anything crazy. I did order a new car though. For the first time. Norway, Czech, Germany, Poland. Oh, dude, that sounds awesome. I'd love to go back to Japan. That would be a great trip. Yeah, man, you're going to love that trip. The thing is like, you know what's interesting? I was talking to my mom about this. This past month was one of the best months that I've had trading, like single months since AI days. And I told her, I was like, I can't go on any trips and stuff until like the market really, really sucks. Because and like so 2 or 3 months ago would have been a great time to go on vacation. If I would have taken this month off, man, I would have missed out on so much shit. So it's like I kind of want to wait until the market is in full free fall. Like every single day you wake up and Bitcoin is down another 10%, like that would be the best time to take a vacation. Yo, Devi, I'm sorry. I have the settings on Twitch for the lowest possible ads. Like that it shows people, like I would turn it off if I could, but I can't. What car did I get? I got a Lexus. I got a Lexus. an SUV, the Lexus. It's like a brand new car too. Fun fact, I've only owned one car my entire life. And I just kept driving it because it's a Toyota and it just never stopped working. Is it worthwhile to show up in a bear market or should you just go AFK? Yeah, you have to be here during the bear market if you want to make it. Let's put it like this. If you want to make it, you should be showing up every day regardless of the market. That's what I did. I literally never cared about whether the market was good or not. And I think that's like one of the biggest reasons as to why people don't make it when they claim that they want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars is because they only show up when the market's good. Like, oh, is it safe to trade? Is it good to trade now? And it's like, if you just clock in every day, pay attention to what's going on, understand the metas, understand what's going on, be very particular, be patient with the coins that come up, with the opportunities that come up. Don't ape every single thing whatever. You don't have to be clicking every 5 seconds. If you just take the best risk to return trades that show up at any given moment over a long period of time, and if you just learn and you just keep getting better, then yeah, you'll be fine. And that's one of the reasons as to why I was able to make so much during AI times, because I was just scalping in and out of tokens all day long, chill guy and AI and all that stuff. And it was like super free, and I was able to make a lot because I had been doing the same thing during the bear market, and I had learned how to like trade during the bear market basically. So yeah, I think that one of the reasons why people aren't successful is because they feel like they should only be here when things are good. And then when things suck, they're like, I don't want to be here when there's no plays to be made. And it's like, that's when you learn. Like, that's when you become a good trader. That's when you figure out like what kind of trader you want to be. And that's where you learn patience and all of it. So yeah, 100%. Like you gotta stick around during the bear market. Gotta be here when things suck. And like, there's so much to be said about that. Bear market is when you set standards for bigger opportunities. Yeah, I've said this a bunch of times. Like I bought Pepe on day one and I made like 5K on it, which was like 2.5 ETH or 3 ETH at the time. And I made that money within like 10 minutes. It wasn't 10 minutes. It was like a couple hours. The money that I put into Pepe literally would have been worth like $10 million at the top. But also, I had seen other Pepes be launched. We didn't know that that was the one that was finally going to catch on. It did. But the entire point of it was that I caught Pepe when it launched. How did I do that? It was the middle of a bear market. I was just here. I was still making content and I was trading the stuff that was coming up. And then there was an entire meme coin season that came after that. I made a lot of money doing that. After that, there was a trading bot meta. There were like all these ETH Telegram trading bots because everyone wanted to trade shitters, but they didn't want to use Uniswap. And so there were a couple different metas that came on after that. And then there was like a 3-month period after the ETH bear market meme coin cycle where everything was kind of slow. And then Dog with Hat launched, and then Popcat launched, and then everything started going crazy on Solana. And then we went into a full Solana meme coin market. And that's like how things transitioned over time. So yeah, what's going to happen for a lot of people is that there's going to be people that leave during the bear market and then they're going to show up at the top of the bull market having learned nothing at all. And they're going to come back and they're going to lose everything because they don't know what they're doing. And then all the people that were sticking around during the bear market and trading every single day and learning how to become better, they're going to outperform all the new people that come that don't have as good of skills. It's just flat out how it is. And I've seen it a million times. I've seen it happen so many times. And what I want to just say to people is like, just keep your finger on the pulse and figure out how to be patient and make good trades over time, and stop trying to get rich in a 1 month period where the market is really good if you're not also going to trade when everything is bad, which is when you learn how to get good. Dude said, would getting into shorts be worth in bear market? I mean, I don't know what you're asking. Shorts? Like leverage? This is what I'm gonna say. Just trade stuff. Like, just figure out what you want to do, get good at it, and just do it for a long period of time. Doesn't matter where we're at in the market. Market could be up, it could be down. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out what you want to get good at, and just do it. Do I think Elon is going to let Pump die down? I have no idea what's going to happen with that. I have no idea at all. No idea. I'm down really bad on a couple of streamer coins. And I did not think that he would let coins go to $50 million market cap and then go down to 1. So we'll see what happens. And Aster is just literally the best coin on the market. Incredible. I should have bought this. I could have made 10%. Streamer meta lasted 3 days. Yeah, it wasn't really that long. It was it was I don't think it's over, by the way. Attention just moves so quick. So let me ask you this question. I will mog Cupsy. That's your username. What do you think is holding you back? Like, what do you think is on a daily basis? Like, what do you think bothers you? What do you think is like top of mind for you specifically? And like, what are your goals and what do you want to try to achieve? And like, how long do you want that to take? Because one thing, I don't know how old you are, but like one thing that I definitely noticed is that for whatever reason, everyone, I mean, we are all running out of time, but like a lot of people just they want to make money fast. And I do too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would love to make money fast. But when you think about it, like, if you're able to get into crypto and you're like 18, 19, 20, And if you could do this for 10 years, and if you could manage to be profitable and make a couple million over the 10-year period, and you're 30 and you have like all your life ahead of you and money, you're absolutely, absolutely cooking. Even if you're 40, even if you're 50, there are some people that literally will work their entire life. And it's like, yeah, if you can just stick with something that you like, that you know is profitable for a long period of time, then just do it. Okay. Main problem is being discouraged from gains and then rinsing the topsy-turvy nature of the trenches and having it impact obvious trades like Aster and wanting to hit 8 figs by end of the year. Okay, so the first thing that stands out to me there is that you have very unrealistic expectations. I don't know how big your port is or anything like that, but I've been trading this market for like a very long time, and I've done really well. Not going to get into specific numbers, but even I will just say, like, if I make 50K this month, I'm going to be really happy. I don't need to, like, my thing is like, I'm not basically saying in 12 months from now, I want to have $10 million. It's like, I shorten my time horizon where I'm like, if I end this month with a certain amount of gains, am I going to be happy? I'm going to give you a good example. This month, I didn't trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days out of the month. So this is actually better. How many days did I trade? 2, 9, 15. I traded 15 days of the month on Solana. And I made 97K. This, dude, I'm like super happy with that. Obviously. That just pushes me like one step closer to where I want to be over time. But just because I make this doesn't mean that like I'm gonna roll all this into like other dumb trades if I don't have to. You know? I was super consistent this month. This doesn't include the money that I made on Aster. And so you got to realize that in crypto, people will post these like 6-fig P&Ls and all that kind of shit all the time. Dude, $5,000 is a lot of money. $10,000 is a lot of money. $20,000 is a lot of money. And people forget that. Completely counterintuitive since you see people trenching and having that be the status quo, but it's not everybody. And also, a lot of people don't share their losses. A lot of the times you don't see the L's that some people take. Now, there are some people that are consistently profitable over time, whether they have copy traders, whether they're just grinders or whatever. But the amount of people that do that is like maybe 50 to 100. It's a big crypto world out there. And let me ask you this. Do you think that you have a better chance if you expand your time horizon and say that you want to make $100,000 in a year and find a way to do it consistently? Do you think that you have a better chance of being a cupsy, which is like there's like maybe one other person that can do what he does? Or do you want to be in the percentage of people that are consistently profitable over time because they know what they're doing and are able to pick up a new narrative? I mean, think about like even something like Cooker. I'll give you a great example. Cooker made millions of dollars on Trump. He was prepared for Trump. He had the size for Trump. He identified Trump. He made all that money. And then guess what? He hung out. He did his thing. He traded. He hit a bunch of other good plays over that time, and then cards came up. He sized in 250K. He made $500,000 or whatever on that. I don't even know how much. And that was in like 2 or 3 days. And then 2 weeks later, guess what happens? Aster comes up. He punts in 500K. He is now up 5 or 6 million. So it's like, dude just clocks in every day and he's just waiting for opportunities, and he has the size to do it, and he's not oversizing into dumb shit. Like, he just knows when to buy things and he knows when to hold them. He's a good trader. You want to be like him, or do you want to be like, people that are constantly chasing 10K market cap shitters all day long? The main thing is your port. You had to off ramp almost all of it because of an emergency that you had to deal with. I'm sorry to hear about that. So now I have to rebuild it or get a better job, which is hard in this market. I can understand that. I still listen to spaces and streams to be up to date, but the motivation is slowly getting down. Yeah, well, that's like the other thing is that I also struggle with that too, of like building your own motivation. It's hard. It's definitely hard to be like a self-motivated person, especially when you got a lot of things in your life that are kind of holding you back mentally. And I think that those are things that you got to train yourself on. I don't know your personal situation. I know that working sucks and everything. Um, but even on these, like, I'll tell you this, like, I wake up and I'm unmotivated all the time and I don't want to do shit. And like, I don't know. It's one of those things that like I will sit there and I'll just be like, you got to get up, you got to do it. If you want things, if you want a good life, you got to do these things. And so life is just a puzzle. You got to figure out how to put the puzzle together to where you can get what you want out of it. So I do know that it is hard to get a job, like a really good job these days. I'm very worried about the job market long term. I think that people are downplaying um, what what AI is going to do to the job market and just like the entire world in general. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely tough. So I can understand, especially when you may feel like you're underperforming or whatever the case is. Like I totally hear you. I hear you. And there's nothing really that I can say besides like if you want things, if you want to be successful with it, it's like you just got to take the additional time. Like I'll tell you what I did. 6 years ago, I had like 5K in my bank account to my name. That was it. I had just graduated from college, had 5K to my name. Was working my job 9 to 5. I was flipping arcade machines, which is like my hobby outside of crypto that I don't do anymore. And I would go and I would try to find things that I could flip. And so I'd buy a pinball machine for like $600, and then I would clean it up, work on it, and I would sell it for like 1100, and I would make that money, and I would just put it away, and then I would just go to my job, and after my job I would stream every single day for 3 years, and I was grinding to make like $1,000 a month streaming on Twitch, and I was really trying to become like a big content creator. It's like all I wanted to do. And what's funny is I did end up becoming a content creator, just not really a streamer, even though I am technically streaming. Let's put it like this. I don't know how many viewers I have. I could go look, but like, I don't really get subs on Twitch. Like, I don't really make money on Twitch. I do this. Why do I stream now? I stream now for clips so I can post it on my Twitter, which, whatever. I'm getting too off track. But like, I used to stream because I wanted to become a content creator, because I wanted to be a content creator and make a living doing that. I am doing that while also making a living as like a trader as well. But back during that 3 year period where I streamed every day, I would wake up, take my dog out, go to work, come home, take my dog out, have dinner, stream all night, take a shower, go to bed, and I would do that every single day during the week. And then on the weekends, wake up, stream for 12 hours every day on the weekends, do my groceries, on Sunday or whatever, take my dog out, and then that was it. And I was miserable, dude. And the other thing that sucked about that was there was a time towards the end of when I was streaming that I totally felt like I was failing. And I was. Like I wasn't moving with the times. I wasn't posting clips on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. My content got bad. I was kind of like in a bad spot. And so there was like a 3-year period of like complete being lost, like totally being lost. I didn't feel like I was being um I didn't feel like I was being um what am I even saying? I wasn't being productive. I was just on stream and I just said to myself like I got to find a way to make this work. And then what ended up happening is I found crypto and then I just started making videos in crypto, started trading crypto, and then everything changed. Am I happy now? Yeah. Yeah. For sure. But just like anything else in life, like, you know, you think about relationships that you have like with your parents, are those good enough? Like, um, my dog died 6 months ago. That took a toll on me. As you become more, as you make more and as you do more, you think that when you hit certain levels that that'll make you happy, but that wears off quickly and then you want more and you want to do more and you know, you want to you constantly go on and on and on. So, yeah, I mean, I'll also say this. I was happy back then too because I loved the challenge. I felt like I was failing, but I loved eating good food. I loved spending time with my dog. Um, you know, I liked what I was doing at the time, but as a person I was happy because in my head I was like I'm going to make this work. Like I'm going to figure something out and I'm going to make it work. And I luckily did. Like but I also got extremely lucky because what I did is I found crypto, got into crypto, said I wanted to do it, got a job in crypto, was making content, quit my job at a great time. Um, and from there, like I just traded and made content and I just had to scrap and make it work. My back was up against the wall a lot of different times back in 2023. Like it was rough, super hard to make money. How did I get a job in crypto? There was a team of an NFT project that I liked, and I was one of the most active people in the Discord. And I just reached out to the founders, and I was like, "Can I be your community manager?" And they hired me. And then I did that for like 2 months, and then I got hired to be a collab manager for NFT stuff, and um, I was getting whitelist for a lot of stuff, so I was able to like, you know, mint and flip shit. I was trading NFTs at the time. I was trading meme coins at the time. There were airdrops that were hitting. Like, there was a lot of stuff. This dude said, "Yo, saw some of your clips somewhere. I don't remember what you said about showing every day goes for more than just crypto." Yeah, everything that I say that I'm saying like kind of applies to anything. If I were to stop doing crypto right now and I wanted to get into building a Pokemon card business, it would be the same thing. You need to get a camera, you need to do YouTube videos, you know, figure out like how to build your brand there, what product do you want to sell, you're going to flip cards, are you going to vend, and then you have to do it for like a long period of time and you got to travel and you got to get good and you got to make connections and you just got to like, you know, do all that stuff. What sucks is that like I say our parents, but like my parents, dude, my dad worked his way up like a corporate ladder and like I know tons of people that work their way up a corporate ladder and it's like so hard for people to do that these days. Like what sucks is that your entry level corporate position salary these days is like not really enough for people to live a good life and save. It's tough, dude. It's really tough. And technically, I was working 2 to 3 jobs. Like, you could call streaming a job. Like I said, I was flipping pinball machines and stuff. But dude, like there was 1 month when I made like a couple grand for my job, and then I made $1,000 off Twitch, and I bought a pinball machine and I flipped it for like 2 grand, and I was fucking stoked. I was so fucking happy. I was like, dude, I made like 7K this month. I was pumped. I was pumped. But I was grinding, dude. Like it was tough. You know the kind of person that I am, just so you know. I used to go and check my at my apartment complex. I used to check every single floor. Let's say that I would go on any given day. I come home from work or I come home, I would go check every single trash room at my apartment complex on every floor. And I would go and I would find stuff to sell. People would throw out air fryers all the time, tables, dressers. Like people literally used to do shit like that all the time. And I would just find, I wouldn't touch like gross shit, but like, I would take stuff that I knew I could resell and I would just list it on Facebook Marketplace and sell it for like $40 or $50. The reason why I'm even talking about this is because like I don't want people to think that like I just appeared here one day. I wanted to get money. And so I was finding ways to do it over time. Can I hydrate? Sure, dude. I have to piss. Housing now sucks up 50% of your salary. Dude, I live with my girlfriend and I pay like $1,200 a month for rent still. And I was thinking back cuz like now I'm like, dude, 1,200 is not that bad. But I was thinking back to what I was making at my other job and I was like, dude, if I was like is still making what I was making in my other job, like I'd be cooked. Because it takes up literally like you're saying like half of what you fucking make. I don't know how people are supposed to fucking afford homes. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get how I mean, and they know it's a problem, but I don't know how the government thinks that people are going to be able to buy homes. I feel like I went on quite the rant here. Apologize if you're uninterested in any of the stuff that I was just saying. I wonder if this pumps. Do you think it's a good idea to start a YouTube if you're passionate on crypto and trenching but not profitable? I think becoming a content creator and building a brand is lucrative no matter what industry you're in, even if you're profitable or not. Do it on Twitter. Do it on Twitter and YouTube. I barely post on I barely post on YouTube, but I post every day on Twitter. Check this out. I posted this video uh a day ago, 60K views. Damn, my tweets have been fucking cooking. Posted this 2 days ago, 60K views. Damn, this got 35K. I didn't even post this. Damn, why do all my posts get 55, 60? This was the last time I streamed. 40K. you get money from the Twitter views, right? Well, technically, yes, but it's not just Twitter. Brand deals, partnerships, driving traffic to my group, Canto. Opportunities to, meet people and shit. Mm-hmm. Lando, what said? Do you think the Aster airdrop farming could be lucrative with a $10,000 trading port and a lot of delta neutral trading? If you're delta neutral, then yeah. I mean, if you can, I feel like it's going to be worth it if you can farm while not losing a lot, or if, obviously if you can be profitable in the process, then yeah, it'll be worth. Um, I would think so, because they're going to want to keep this thing going. Just saw that tweet. Nothing but facts. Trenching 50K market caps and getting wrecked by the PvP swamp is not the way. High cap scalps is the way to build a bigger port. Dude, I'm glad to hear you say that. Is XPL mooning? Oh wow. Damn, so this did pop off. Guys, if you've been watching the stream at all, join my Discord. I'll give you guys some free weeks if you are interested. I will apply them after stream. I'm about to get off so I can work on clipping up everything from this stream and starting to post it. I also have to piss and I'm hungry. So yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get off. Look, join my Discord. It's in my bio. Type in ! Discord in chat. I'll give a couple free weeks away to people. Just join the Discord, open a ticket, tag me, give me like a day. I might do it now. I might do it later. I don't know. Am I not playing XPL? No, I'm not. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Don't think that I'm not gonna host anybody or anything like that. But I'm like I said, I got stuff to do. I'm gonna go and clip up the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I was helpful. If you need anything, you could shoot me a message on Twitter and you could go and whatever. But a lot of different ways to get in contact with me. If you want to subscribe to Canto, you can. It's worth it. Yeah. Besides that, I appreciate everything. Thank you guys for showing up today. I will be back next time I stream. So I don't know when that'll be. Alexa, thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you guys for all the follows. And yeah, hope you guys, honestly, I hope you guys like all crush it. I know the market kind of sucks and I know that things seem like they're kind of ass, but I meant everything that I said. Keep grinding, clock in every day, and you'll figure it out eventually. If you want to be on this journey with me, join Canto, stay in Canto, show up, ask me questions. I'm always there to help. I'm always there, whatever. Yeah. There's people that are typing ! Discord in the public chat of my Discord. If you want a free month, or I'm going to give a couple weeks away, a free couple weeks, go into my Discord, open a ticket, tag me. Sound good? Awesome. Besides that, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to piss myself. So